Anthony Nunez, and today I am doing a video discussing residential real estate commissions. So, how do residential real estate agents get paid? I wanted to start off with some general real estate trends because there's a misconception that a bunch of agents are making a ridiculous amount of money when in reality it's usually just 20% of the field is really making this big, huge amount of money. The other 80% are surviving or transitioning or exploring the realm of real estate. So average agent makes about 2 to 6 deals a year. 2 to 6 deals a year. A great or a good agent produces 10 to 20 deals a year. So they're doing well. A top agent is producing 20 plus deals per year. 20 plus deals per year. Now, you would think this is a lot of money, but the median income for real estate agents is just over $45,000, and this is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics data, and that's dating back to 2017. But the numbers aren't that much different in 2018. Agents involved in a real estate transaction. So I created a video before with the agency disclosure. So if you go back to the agency disclosure video, I break this down a little more. You want to know where your agent's loyalty resides. But there, in a typical real estate transaction, there's a listing agent representing the seller and a selling or buyer's agent representing the buyer. Okay. Some deals, very rare in New York, have a broker agent. Okay. How much do realtors get paid? So the industry average or the norm is that realtors will be signing a listing agreement with a 6% offering. So the 6% isn't that listing agent's going to be making 6%. A typical deal has a seller's agent and a buyer's agent. Seller's agent will have 3%. The buyer's agent will have 3% unless there's a dual agency in effect. Now, for dual agency, again, you go back to the agency disclosure. There should be a form filled out. You should know that the agent is representing the seller and the buyer. Additionally, when I say the agent, I mean the brokerage. Okay, so the brokerage. The agent is just a member of the brokerage. That's where they retain their license. That's where they hang up their license. Using data from my region, a typical home in the Bronx or Westchester is selling for around $500,000. Obviously, there's some co-ops, condos, or other homes that sell for less, and some much greater homes that sell for over $500,000. Several million we have in the Westchester and Bronx region. So there's some homes that are selling for several million. So 6% of the sale, if a median home is $500,000, 6% of the sale would equal $30,000. Whoa. I mean, you're sitting there and you're saying $30,000. That's a huge chunk of change, right? That $30,000 is going to be split between the listing agent's company and the buyer's agent's company. Okay? $15,000, still a lot of money. One who is a novice to real estate or is not in the industry would think that at the closing, the agent just walked away with $15,000. However, the reality is that many agents, when they first start off or when they're in the field, they're working for a company that's paying them either 50% on the low end. So if you're in that 50% company, there's other companies that are going to give you a little bit more money. But between 50 to 90%, or you could have an agreement where it's a sliding scale. So some companies offer a sliding scale where you start off at 50, 60, 70%. And as you generate or produce more deals, you slide into the 90% and eventually maybe zero. However, although that's the norm, there are some companies that are offering realtors 100% commission, but they are rare. Thus, if you're an agent, most likely your agent's going to be pocketing 70% of the proceeds of a closing. So going back to our example of $15,000, that agent is going to be making $10,500. Wow, $10,500. Still sounds really good. All right. Again, to a person that's not in the industry, they're looking at $10,500 and they're like, wow, this is really great. But that does not say the full story behind that money. Number one, one thing that we can guarantee is death, taxes, and changes, right? So the taxes on this deal would be $3,500 more or less. Obviously, taxes are very individual, very, very personal. So you might have more or less, but around $3,500. In addition to those taxes, just to get that listing, that agent probably paid his company or his office a marketing fee, because the office might be marketing for him or her. And them as an individual might also be sending out marketing material. So when you're sending out marketing material, that has a cost. Even if you get, let's say, 1,000 stamps. I mean, that's going to run you around like $500, close to $500 for 1,000 stamps. And we're just talking about the stamps. We haven't even engaged with the actual paper, the marketing material, the quality of the material. So marketing is actually one of the biggest expense for agents, especially these auction style digital marketing. So when you go on to companies like Zillow, Trulia, which are the same company, they have an auction style system where if you want to be the number one agent in a zip code, it could be in the Bronx, you could be paying well over $1,000 just to be the number one agent that people see when they log into those websites. Okay. Desk fees. So many offices require a desk fee. So you have to pay them a fee just to be able to use their desk and their facilities. Transaction fees. So it might have some transaction fees. Every time a deal closes, you got to pay us $1,000 or so. MLS fees, at least in this region, are yearly, and you're going to be paying a little bit over or around $500 for MLS fees. Continuing education. Every realtor is supposed to take 22 credits of continuing education. Those have a cost associated to them. Errors and omissions insurance, right? We deal with a lot of legal documents. So all the realtors have to have errors and omissions insurance, and that has a cost to it. Gas, mileage, right? Even though we work in a certain region, our properties could be on opposite sides. So we're constantly moving around and showing properties. You're wasting a lot of gas and mileage. All right. Window shoppers. Every realtor that has been working in the industry for a significant amount of time can share stories of how they've shown multiple properties to a person only to find out that they opt not to buy at that time, or they opt not to buy at all. And, that has an expense because that's time wasted. And how do you factor in time? Well, that's case by case. Phone usage, right? Can't have a phone without internet these days, and internet usage in the office. So people the realtors are constantly online. They want to have the first grasp for their clients of what's in the market, how is the market changing, and they're constantly adjusting by looking at the industry and how the market trends are changing. Okay, but that has a cost to it. Lockbox, great. Your realtor has 5 properties listed. Well, guess what? Each property might have a lockbox that costs over $100, right? Then they have a CRM to keep track of all their clients, which also has a high cost. All right, these are just some of the costs that's going to bring that $10,500 commission, which looks great. It's going to bring it down to more reality. So now that you know a little bit about why or how realtors get paid, why did I decide to join United Realty Reps? Well, number one was the agents. I knew of Galvez, for example, in a deal that actually went sour. So me and him were trying to work a deal in the Shorehaven complex, and the complex is beautiful. It's emerging, has a Soundview ferry. Everything was going great until the buyer actually backed out the deal, and it's tough, man. If you're the agent and you're waiting on this deal, and then the deal gets fumbles, right? It's tough, but he handled it very well. And then he introduced me to several other agents within the company, which I found to have a lot of experience, and most importantly, to be humble and hungry, right? Because you don't want to work with people that are overly arrogant. You want people that are humble, that are looking to improve constantly. And I really found that with the United Realty Reps. Not to say that it wasn't in my old office. My old office was great. I loved my old office, but United Realty Reps was a little closer to the area I wanted to work in, and it's really been a pleasure. The actual office space, United Realty Reps has a shared office space where, if I decided to expand at some point and want my own personal office space, there's currently the opportunity for me to have that. I just have to rent out one of the areas in the office. It's kind of like WeWork, the famous company WeWork. They have shared office space, which is great. You get to meet a lot of people, and people have access to conference rooms, and it seems alive in the office. Trainings. The trainings are nice because they're late at night. So you tend to get all your business out the way, right, with real estate. And then you kind of end your night reflecting and going back to these trainings and picking up one or two pointers, which you either knew or you forgot about, and you're able to constantly grow professionally. Additionally, they do a lot of trainings on the weekends, and they invite guest speakers. Last but not least, the money piece, which was a factor, but not the final decision, but we have 100% commission with just 2 fees. All right. That's very, very rare. But if you look at business trends, society is going more and more to subscriptions-based fees. So in this office, they have a $99 a month subscription, right? And then for every deal you close, it's a $500 transaction fee, which is pretty small. Because these are fees, I'm able to write them off in my taxes, which, as you saw, was one of the biggest burdens for realtors, the fact that they have to pay the taxes afterwards. And if they're not on top of the taxes, they can get a lot of penalties at the end of the tax year. So there's also a residual program, which I liked because it's not huge like in other companies. Some other companies offer 5-10% for bringing in another agent. This one was small, where the company is still able to keep the 100% commission, but you still get a little help for your fees, and it doesn't hinder the new agent. Because if you're getting, let's say, a 60-70% split, and your company offers a 10% for every deal for the person you're bringing in, well, guess what? That 60-70%, it's factoring in that 10% that you're going to get from the agent's deal. So that's how they calculate that. But in this one, it's just a small fee just to kind of like help out the agent. So this is the company, United Realty Reps. This is my business card, only because I was talking about my decision to join the company, not so much that this video was tailored to that. It was just walking you through how realtors get paid and my decision for joining a specific company based off the information presented. Okay, so please subscribe to the channel if you like what you're hearing. Send comments and suggestions. This video was created for educational purposes, with the exception of my personal reflection of joining United Realty Reps. Please consult with your local professionals for any case-by-case financial assistance or real estate advice. Thank you.